So before we approve the agenda, we don't have minutes for the 10 o'clock formal minutes typed up, showing who was present and everything. So I'm going to remove the approval of the minutes, and we'll add that on to the next quarterly meeting. So without objection, I'm going to call this meeting to order and ask for the approval of the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. Chairman's remarks. I don't have any remarks other than what I said earlier, and we're going to work on the structure of the committee and see what we can do to streamline that or make it to where we have a quorum and be able to meet that requirement of 4 times a year. So we'll work on that. Announcements from the cities and community reports. We'll just start right here with Gallatin. Got anything to share with us?
So, I mean, I was told, hey, I'm not going to be able to meet this meeting today from there. Can you go in my place? And that's about all I got. So I don't really know, like, what do you guys typically report on?
It's just
as far as
anything economic. Y'all had the Meta opening.
Yeah.
That was pretty big.
Yeah. We've approved a Target shopping center to turn into Gallatin.
Good deal.
I don't know if that. I guess that's probably on the lines of
Yeah.
economic development. I mean, it's your standard restaurants and things that are coming in. You know, we're getting applications constantly for new development still, and so that hasn't changed for us. It's still pretty steady. We probably see 15 to 20 applications come in every month for different things, whether it's residential projects or commercial. But yeah.
Okay. Good deal. All right. How's forward Sumner?
It's good, sir. Thank
Good.
you for the invitation to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all got workforce projects going strong?
Yes, sir. 3-star and some other things, and working on a few certifications for some sites hopefully. So
Good.
Things are going good in Westmoreland. We're going to vote tonight on another annexation. It's a 800-acre farm, Bob Goodall farm.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a unique annexation. 100 acres of it on Highway 31 is going to be dedicated to commercial and industrial. Then on the backside of the farm, there's about 350 acres that's under environmental conservation that nothing will ever be done to it. And then, of course, Mr. Goodall's getting ready to retire and move up there in his cabin. He's an advocate hunter, and he's going to hunt that land as long as he can, so there won't be no residentials there until after he's done hunting. I'll have Gallatin out in just a little bit. They had their first reading Tuesday night, I believe.
The gas line?
For the gas line to come to Westmoreland. It passed 6-1.
Who was the one vote?
But they do the second reading on it first part of December. Hopefully after that's done, I know Jeremy and them are already in negotiations with several different manufacturers that they're just waiting on that announcement before they commit.
Excellent.
And I think that's just about the size of it right now. Everything's, we got a little over 20 houses already built on the first annexation. They've got 9 of them sold and got 2 of them occupied.
Is that the property that we toured when we were up there?
Yes,
That's good. Well, this is a long time coming for Westmoreland.
It is.
So I think it's a good sign. Tim?
We do have an annex. Well, let me start over again. So, Commission has approved on first reading a moratorium on medium and high density housing in the city to reevaluate or redo our land use comprehensive plan. Also, we'll be looking at design standards as well as the mixed-use calculations of number of units per square footage of commercial. Now, that is set for 12 months. We do have a caveat in there that we can terminate it when, you know, everybody feels like the work that needs to be done is done. So with that said, there is an annexation that will be considered in January, excuse me, on Long Hollow Pike of about 75 acres. I think the density is probably going to have to improve before it gets consideration. Our sales tax collections for last fiscal year was the largest in the history of the city. And you know, those that grew up in the area that kind of knew what Rivergate Mall provided for the city, compared to now, that's phenomenal. So it's something that we're very fortunate with. Hotel motel tax money, as far as for us, that has now gone to a little bit of a downward trajectory since post-COVID, but still in excess of where we were pre-COVID. Federal money, that was the ARPA money and the other money that came down from the federal government, really got people to travel a whole lot over a 2-year period of time. And that's starting to level out a little bit, so that's very good for us. There is 2 industrial sites in Sumner County that still seeking tenants on. And John, if you have a second today, I need to talk to you about one of them. It's a company from out of the country that we're working with, and Rivergate Mall is transitioning into other things, and hope to share more soon. And that's all I got.
Dale, thank you.
So we're having to crack down a little bit on businesses that were affected by the tornado in December and haven't really moved forward. We've got several, I'll say a handful, of out-of-town property owners that don't really care about fixing up what they had. They've either taken a portion or all of their insurance settlement and sort of left the buildings as they were, left the signs as they are. So we're writing some citations, but at the same time, we're also providing some grants if people want to remove their sign, which is damaged, and put up something nicer. So we're giving up to $10,000 for businesses that want to do that. We still have a couple that have just not responded to us, and so we're at the point now that we're citing them weekly, and then they fail to appear, and so that's in the neighborhood of $300 every time that happens. It's not something I want to do, but I wanted to take care of the building. It's been 12 months, and we've got a couple that just pretty much ignores that. We do have a couple right there in West Main. It used to be Big Fun and Fortune House and Little Caesars. There's 3 different property owners there, and we've brought them together to say, hey, y'all need to talk and see if there's something you can work out together for your property, because I want to say it's the neighborhood of 20 acres in the middle of town.
Yeah.
So it's something that could really be valuable and really could be really an exemplary development possibility. Let's see, our sales tax, ours for August was 27% higher than previous August. Now, part of that is Costco, only part of that. We don't know what, and part of it is there was a 5th weekend in there, but we're not really sure why that is up so high. So we're hoping that it continues for the shopping that happened in September. We'll find that out here in just a couple days. And it's obviously a good problem to have. We just hope that it continues. Holiday Inn has reopened. They reopened about 3 months ago. So that's good news. That is sort of similar to y'all. That's getting our lodging tax back where it was. We're still not seeing the business. We're still not seeing business travelers to our hotels like we did. 4 or 5 years ago. It's more weekend travelers. That's what's filling it up. One of the buildings that was damaged on West Main Street was Fortune House, and I probably get that question more than anybody asking about any other business in Hendersonville is Fortune House, Chinese restaurant. where if you'd been there a couple times, they could tell you what you were gonna order next time you went there. They have filed an application to build a new building on Walton Ferry Road, so
Very good.
that is more important than anything else.
Hey, that's big news right there.
That is absolutely good news. That's the good news. The bad news is that Smith Travel Research, that became known as STR and was sold, I think, 3 years ago, they have vacated their building in Hendersonville. They've moved to Nashville. Randy Smith still owns the building, still owns the property. Evidently, they couldn't come to terms as far as what the cost was for a continued lease, and Randy feels like he can lease it out to somebody else. We don't like the fact that building's vacant. We don't like the fact that those employees aren't in Henderson anymore, but Randy feels pretty confident that he did the right thing. So we're
That's a nice building.
yeah, it is. So we're hoping to get somebody there. But I'll tell you, we do not have spec office space in Hendersonville. This doesn't exist, and now we do. So.
Well, those, in the old Main Street, there's those couple of buildings down there.
Oh yeah.
That,
Yep.
they need to fall down.
Mm-hmm.
That all glass building.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do with that building.
So the owner of that died about a year ago, and his partner, fiance, not real sure. We've been in conversation with her.
Okay.
She's looking for something to do with it. She doesn't want to keep it. She doesn't really want to pay to fix it up either, which I understand that. Is probably the solution to that is that it gets torn down. My feeling though, in this, when we had some building folks look at it, was the building to tear down is probably as expensive as buying the property. So it's we hope that she can work out something with some of the neighbors there, with some of her adjacent property owners there, to do something. But we are looking at, we've got that, like you said, a couple other buildings that need some attention, and we're looking at what our codes say and how far we can lean on the aesthetics as a reason to step in.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, before we go to jury, I messed up. I want to introduce Sean Fowler. Many of y'all probably know Sean from his days at GNRC. He's doing a fellowship with 4 cities. He was at Brentwood, he was at the White House, he's with Goldsville now. He will be in Springfield after the first of the year. So he just has tagged along today and is going over to the Florida Sumner meeting after this with me. And just want to introduce you to him. He's got a keen interest in pursuing other things in city management and public administration after he finishes his fellowship through, through the University of Tennessee Institute of Public Service. So appreciate you allowing me to do that.
Absolutely. Well, welcome.
I think you guys motel taxes. I went to a ribbon cutting for a remodel of our Holiday Inn Express, and I was talking to the owner there, and he told me that his occupancy's down too, but he said it's because of Nashville has really built out hotels in downtown. He said that may be what's drawing there, because they have more inventory now downtown, and they have less of a need to be out into the suburbs. That's what he was telling me, so that might be why we're seeing it, even though our motel taxes up generally, but he said there's just not as many people taking those rooms. We just had a ribbon cutting opening of a new public shopping center yesterday morning, so I'm involved in that, so it was pretty nice seeing that coming in. Our city has about 2,500 units left of single family on the books that they've approved, so our new board, when John Corbett took over as mayor almost 2 years ago, he's wanting to slow that down, and he has significantly, but the inventory that we had about 3,500 inventory when we were there. So this year, even though they're not approving anything, and the public's not seeing it, what they did see was 580 single-family homes go up. So, in a year's time, so they're seeing it. So they're still feeling the growth pains of that, and we've got some road projects we're working on as a result of that. Staff was telling me as I was going to walk out there, they just received an email, somebody cussing them out about traffic in front on the road that they're, do you want your road improved with widening and traffic signalization, or do you just want to keep it the same way it is? But, people understand when you do construction, it creates other issues for you. But we just got a lot of houses going up, we got businesses going up, and waiting on some industry. For some reason, I guess you know law at all in industry. We have this new Core 5 building, it's, what, I don't know how big that thing is, 300,000 square feet, and they've not filled it yet. I'm surprised that nothing's running there yet.
Flex space or warehouse space?
Yeah, it's just warehouse space. It's all open space, yeah. Brand new building. It's been sitting empty now for about 6 months. I'm surprised they hadn't filled it up yet. But, yeah, it's right along the highway, right along Interstate 65, so, but other than that, that's what I got going on.
So did you say 500 houses permitted so far this year?
It was we did 580 at the end of this last fiscal year, and we're on track since the beginning, since July 1st, to hit probably 500 again this year.
You're doing twice as many as we are.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Ours is up at 1,000 in Gallatin. We did 900 and something single families plus another. This is permits, so units for apartment complexes. I don't know how many
Yeah.
units that went with, but it was about 60 something units or permits for multifamily.
I don't know if you guys are slowing down yet, but with ours slowing it down, I told our chamber when I did the State of the City address that you're not gonna see the fruits of what Mayor Corbett's trying to get accomplished now for another 3 to 5 years when our inventory goes down. There's gonna be a lag where we won't have anything. But we had noticed, and not on the Summer side, but on the Robertson County side, developers are trying to, because they know we're not annexing.
They're trying to what?
They're wanting to put high-density residential just outside the city limits, you know, and not have to, you know, pay for any roads or anything else. So I've asked the county, you've complained to us about growing too fast, and the schools have to take the impact of it. Don't you approve it? Because they're not connecting to our sewer, we're not letting them connect to our sewer, and so they're.
So what are they gonna do for sewer?
Step systems, and, yeah, for, you know, this is the one that they have, supposed to be on the agenda tonight, I think it's 300 homes or something, you know, just outside the city limits. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I'm hoping they say no to that one, but we'll see what happens. But nothing, I'm not sure why maybe water's the reason we're not singing on the Sumner County side, but it's not enough water in here yet.
Is the county fire protection any different in Robertson County versus Sumner County? So if these apartments get built, or high density get built outside the city limits, they're relying on volunteer fire department mutual aid
Absolutely,
agreements?
yeah, you're right, yeah, they are. Yeah, they're relying on
They're relying on Jerry and the mutual aid
Yeah,
agreement.
that's
but-
what- yeah.
Probably, yeah, most likely. Yeah, because all the Cross Plains will come down and help them or what, you know, they're volunteer fire department. But it's just us in Springfield, the only ones that have full-time fire departments, in Robertson County. You know, at least we have more here.
They're not even gonna have hydrants out there, are they?
No, they're gonna have to fight with all that ISO rate, hopefully they get insurance. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm hoping, like I said, they don't approve them. They've turned down one big development so far, so that was close by, so I'm hoping they turn this one down too.
You talked about how many units you have on the books. We have 11,000 units.
Your community hasn't had a fit yet, huh?
You have 11,000.
11,000 approved units, but not built yet.
So we're probably in the neighborhood of like 3,000. So I've said for a long time that Gallatin's probably gonna outgrow us in the next 10,
And now you
15
know
years.
what we're doing moratorium.
And we're doing a special census. We hired the Census Bureau because I just don't have time and the staff to go out and do it all. So we've always done it ourselves in the past, but this time it was a little pricey, but we think we've grown by 5,000 people since the census was taken. And so that's a significant amount of money that can come into the city, so it'll more than pay for the first year of the census. First year will pay for the census without a problem. So our kickoff date is April 1st, but we're already in the hiring phase now. They have a whole process they go through. And we have to provide space for them and a computer and printer and stuff, but they're gonna hire the staff, and that's what we needed to do it.
I'm watching you guys in Gallatin on this. I have my doubts that it would be successful in Hendersonville, because we tried it in 2017 and failed.
Use the Census Bureau?
We did.
Okay. Yeah. Are you using the Census Bureau?
No, we're using a private
Okay.
group that's helping us do it. The Census Bureau would have cost us about 800,000, I think, to do the count.
That was a good, that would have been good.
And I think the private group was
500.
about half of that.
Is
So,
it?
yeah,
If they can get it done,
yeah. So,
okay.
but, I mean,
But how
even
much do you think you
if,
grew by?
if we go up even from the 44 that we're at now up to 50, that's $1 million a year
Yeah,
in extra revenue. So it's $175 a home,
that's right.
or per person.
Yeah, per
Sorry.
person.
$175 extra per person, and if you add that 6,000 population growth,
Yeah.
you're talking
But
another
when you look
$1
at
million
your
a year.
service requirements, I mean, it's that balance of what is revenue and what is actually, I mean, for someone to build a single-family home, we lose money when you really balance out.
Yeah.
We absolutely do.
That's right.
So I'm just saying, there's so
It's-
many different ways.
It's
that-
a loss from that
Yeah.
perspective, but if the homes are also bringing the economic development,
Yeah.
which, I mean, rooftops brings business,
Oh, yeah,
right?
sales
So
tax, yeah.
you have to sort of look at it from that perspective of, hey, if you want your city to grow economically, you have to allow it to grow residentially
Yeah.
first.
Oh, I don't disagree with you about that, Alex, it's just that balance of, where does it fall?
So
Yeah.
when people start talking about affordable housing, I give them this argument right here, is that right now our houses bring in about $650 a month in property tax, and we spend about $1,000, $650 per year in property tax. We spend about $1,000 per year in city services. We want those houses to be as valuable as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also gotta remember now that with, you know, online shopping, how much sales tax are they bringing to your city for every single family home? We haven't figured that out yet, but I'm sure there's a way to calculate that, but, that's gotta be significant, sales tax.
And of course,
We add that to our services.
We have residents inside the city limits in Hendersonville that have a 37066, that have Gallatin zip code.
Gallatin zip codes, yeah.
So we're trusting the Department of Revenue that we're getting that sales tax.
Yeah, we have the same thing with people with Cotton Town as ours. Goes all the way up in Millersville, right? Your zip code,
We're
up the ridge.
We're Millersville, we are in all of Ridgetop, just about.
Yeah.
And hey, when I started asking questions about the online sales tax, they told me they knew what they were doing.
So we may not be able to figure it
It
out.
was, hey, it was,
It is still
and it's
confidence.
very good for us, don't get me wrong, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Because you just mentioned your sales tax is way.
Just don't come back to me and say we've overpaid you and we gotta
Yeah,
take.
no clawback.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah.
had that happen a couple years ago. It was only $80,000, but it's still,
Really? Wow.
But they did, they told me that they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. I hope
Well,
so.
Sumner County, I mean, you know, we got a little going on, but, probably one of our biggest projects, we're building a new EMS station up in Westmoreland, which I think is gonna be a great addition to their community. We're building it for the future, and, so looking forward to that project. We're also helping the volunteer fire department in Oak Grove with a new building. So, we're trying to get through this ARPA, get
Yeah.
everything obligated. I know City of White House, trying to get paperwork from y'all, I
We've
think.
given him all the paperwork.
Okay,
He's-
good.
I'm hoping he's fine, and Wes told me
Yeah.
that he was thinking he was disqualified, but this project has been funded by the federal ARPA, by the state ARPA, and I don't see any reason why we wouldn't have met all the requirements.
Well, hopefully all that.
Yeah.
They moved all of that from my office up to finance
So did they,
when they terminated Kim Northville.
was that for the?
So, well, I apologize, they didn't terminate Kim, she resigned. They moved her position to finance. So,
Oh.
all of the, building projects, everything over $50,000 goes to finance now. So it's, you'll need to communicate with Dustin Owens.
Yeah, that's good, yeah, we have that, we've been sending all the documents.
Good, well, I hope it all works out, and I hope, that we're able to capture all of those dollars.
Yeah.
As we go through.
Yeah, I went to a meeting for, it was a mayor's only meeting, but I got to go for, at TBI headquarters, but it was a TDAC meeting for HARPA. I don't know if you guys, did you go, Jamie? I don't think I seen you.
no, I did not.
Yeah, they just wanted to emphasize about the ARPA money, you know,
Yeah.
on the state one, the state, I mean, I know you're dealing with the federal money that came to you, but the state money that was allotted to the cities, $1.3 billion. They put milestones, and they're like, if you're not at a certain point when we get to this spot, we're gonna tell you, you're stopping your project. we will not be able to, you're not gonna get it done because you've got your timelines and stuff, so. So why they want to meet with the mayors is try to encourage the mayors
Which
to
money is he talking about?
come down in their cities and say, you guys, your engineers and your whoever's got, good, because they're running out of, they said there's a certain point where there's not gonna be any engineers that are gonna be able to do your project because they're all overworked from all these ARPA projects. And then the contractor, you get to a certain point where you're supposed to be under construction, if you're not likely gonna get a contractor at the price that you need it to be to get the project in, because they're running their costs way up.
We are probably going to forego some.
All right.
When I say we, I'm really talking about the 12 Alderman, not myself.
The who?
The 12 Alderman,
Okay.
actually 7 specifically.
They couldn't, oh, so you're losing, yeah, okay, on one project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
Well,
you talking about the ARPA allocation that you received?
Yes.
Why didn't you just take a lost revenue claim? That's what they told us to do.
They
You
did.
could- And, hey, it's over and done with. I mean, it was.
That was the federal
Jamie
side,
probably
right?
got too much. to
Yeah,
do
that was,
with
that was the federal
That was the
money.
federal.
So we
you
took
could go up
some
to 10
loss
million
revenue.
and.
Yeah.
yeah.
You could do that with the federal money, with the state money, I don't believe that was one
Yeah,
option.
No,
So
they
I
have more
want-
restrictions on their advertising and everything, so. the
But they
state-
they both had the same time requirements as far as the
Right.
contracts and everything.
Yeah,
So remember the firm
December
we hired
26.
to look at everything.
And that's what, we're using state money on the health department in Hendersonville. So, so yeah, we're under the gun on that,
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get everything
Okay.
done. But,
Yeah.
we're okay,
Mhm.
but,
Yeah,
you know, we're just one commission meeting away,
okay.
so from,
Good.
but,
So we had a hard time claiming lost revenue because our revenue did very well. We only did on the hotel, on the
They
lodging
don't
tax.
care.
So,
It seemed like they didn't, did they? Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
They told us, I mean, COVID hit, our sales tax went up.
us too.
I mean, it was the craziest thing ever been.
But that's
We were-
because
we were
pricing went up
told
on
the
everything.
simplest thing was to do this because paperwork, everything, I mean, it was all above board, all,
Yeah.
and it made it simpler for them, made it simpler for us. And gave us the flexibility to use it
However you want.
wherever we needed to.
Right. That's like you said, that's all they wanted the mayors to know, is that you need to be aware
There's
of your
only a
project and see
percentage
where
of
you're
that
at
you
with
can
it.
use for that.
Because we may be cutting you
You can
on.
only use a percentage.
well, I can tell you.
I think they wanna use the money for something. They'll probably wanna
I'll
use
I'll be
something.
glad when deadlines come and
So
go.
I.
I am so tired of talking about this
Who would
money.
think we
But
might
it's
have put it
also-
on
Yeah.
2020?
We have reevaluated, we've frozen projects, and then we brought them back to life, and I'm just ready for them to be done.
Yes.
Bring the deadline on, and that's,
I'm
the
just
worst
waiting.
thing's gonna happen to us is if they extend the deadline.
Yes. Yeah, and you know, they could do that, you know, they may not, but.
I hope not.
Yeah, because the feds did claw some money back, because I had a grant for a road, a safety project, and through, you know, an NPO, and then that money got clawed back, so then they had to find other money for us for our project. Sean's aware of that. You mentioned prices went up, it was the same time when the state approved online purchasing could go to point of
So did
purchase, so
Sean
that
get a price?
was at the same time, so
Did Sean
that's
get
why
a
we think our
price?
sales tax is going up too, but you're right, prices
I was
went
still
up.
at the crib.
Folks, do we have, gentlemen, we have anything else to come before this committee?
No, sir.
Well, I mean, we can carry on conversation, I want to just go ahead and call for adjournment.
So moved.
So,
All right, we're adjourned.
so I'm never gonna ask you anything about transportation at all. So you need to learn about stuff you don't know about. So I go down there, I'm like, I know I said